I have a little activity. I'm going to talk about 3 things, but I have a Wordle kind of idea. So I want you to see if you can guess it. Maybe you can work in pairs or individually and see how quickly you guess my 3 words. And you can be ready, use your phone. Let's see. So these are my 3 words. Or fluid. Oh, good job. Okay. Fiber, and what's the last one?
Fermented
food. Oh yeah, okay, good. Well done, guys. I thought it was going to take like 1 minute. And so yes.
Are you using your F words again?
Exactly. I was going to talk about my F words.
She's always using them.
Yes, I like that. Okay, my F words. Yes, I always use these. Okay, so fluids. So today, please feel free to taste my 2 ideas, but any fruit you want to crush, and you can put some herbs in it and make it as a fluid, kind of embellish your fluid or your water. So why fluids? Why do we need fluids? And these 3 things do have a purpose in our pelvis. So that's why I'm talking about them. So why fluids? Maybe because I lose fluids. Yes. What else? What else fluids are doing for us?
They hydrate our tissues.
Yes. Well, we are 60% or half of our weight is fluid. Okay. It actually controls our blood pressure, believe it or not. It's involved in keeping our blood pressure stable. Okay. It also helps with temperature equilibrium or homeostasis, but that's kind of like a term for doctors. So keeping our temperature as well to good regulation. So if we're hot and if we are well hydrated, then our hydration will help us not feel as hot that quickly. So, water absorbs temperature, so it does the same thing for us in our body. The other very important thing is gets rid of our waste. Urea. So we do need water, and there's a minimum amount, concentration that our body or our bladder needs to concentrate all the chemicals, and urea is one of them, because otherwise that will start breaking down our own body. So we do need fluid to get rid of our waste. So that's very important. So amounts, any idea the amounts of fluid that we need in a day? Maybe you do know. Not you. It's complicated. Yeah, so.
A lot of times you hear 8 glasses of water.
Yes, 8 glasses, it's 2 liters, more or less. It actually is not so simple, but they made the research or the medical field, they make it a bit more easier, and so they pair the amount of calories that you take in. It should be the same amount of milliliters. So about 2.5 liters, so that's about 10 cups, more or less. A cup is 250 ml. So those water bottles are 2 cups. So plus minus, this depends in how cool our climate is, if perspiration. So this is another question. Any idea how do we lose fluid? What are the ways we lose fluid? Sweat, yes. Urine. So 50% of what we lose is urine. Sweat is not. So what's the other? So sweat is a little bit, but there's one more that most of us have no clue. No. Yeah, for somebody, yes, we do, but yes, no, that's like tiny bit.
Salivate? No, I guess that's fine.
It's breathing through our lungs in vapor form. So perspiration, a little bit through the skin, but not even perspiration, and lungs accounts for another 50% of our loss of our fluid.
50.
What's that?
50.
Yes, 50. So we lose about 4% of our total fluid, and that tends to be 2.5 liters, more or less, in a day, plus minus. Now, if you add hot, and I'm sweating right now, I am losing a lot more. So that's why it's a bit complicated to calculate how much we do need. It's a very individual thing, because it also depends on how much exercise we do, what is the environment that we're in, and how much we breathe, how much we sweat. So it is pretty complicated, but you know, we can get to a sweet spot. How do we know we are dehydrated?
In your urine.
Yes, so that's actually a better indicator than when people say, I'm thirsty. Actually, you're thirsty is a really late sign that we're dehydrated. So we do really need to get hydration. And when I say hydration, it's water. Yes? No?
Not juice,
Not
wine.
Yes, and I'm glad because the new Canada's Food Guide that came out in 2018, they scrapped juices and milk, although milk can arguably give you some fluid, but it's mostly the water. We want to keep water. Now, food does provide us with fluid. It's about 1 liter, more or less, that we tend to, ideally, to get from foods, and depending on the foods that we eat. So, but I'm talking about fluids, drinking. So, yeah, that's a,
I'm trying to.
it's, you have to move it, yes, we can, okay.
A simple calculation you can do too is half your body weight in ounces of water
Yeah,
each day.
I don't do ounces, or horrible on ounces, but yeah, so 8 ounces, yeah.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
the idea is drinking. Oh, the other thing I forgot about fluid, and this is very important, is how regular our bowel movements are. I can't tell you how many people are like, I'm constipated and I am eating fiber like crazy, but I'm still constipated. Well, how about drinking water? Are you drinking water? So have you seen how hard fiber is? Like, I'm going to go with all brand. It's hard. You need water to make it soft in your intestines. So if you just eat a lot of fiber but not fluid, you're making things worse. So you really need to add fluid in your body just to be regular as well. Okay?
Kind of like a cork.
Yeah, kind of.
Without water.
Exactly. So fluid, number one thing for our gut and our core, it's very, very important. Yes, as we grow older, and you're going to talk about, Jenny's going to talk about the leaking and all that stuff, but we do need that fluid, very important. Oh, the other thing is, you know, we don't have enough fluid. We're going to have a super concentrated urine, and that can increase the risk of UTIs, urinary tract infections.
It actually makes leaks worse.
And
urgency
yes,
frequency worse.
exactly. So it's just having a routine, drinking, going, and not holding it for too long. But really, the fluid is the key thing. Okay, so I'm going to move on from fluid, and I'm going to talk about fiber. Yeah. So, any idea how many grams of fiber is in grams we need a day? No? 20s? Yes. 25, right on. But this number has been defined many decades ago, looking at research on what helps kind of minimize the risk of coronary diseases. Now, I think it's outdated, that number, because we actually need more, or we could have more to be as healthy as we can be. So to prevent cancer, colon cancer, for example, reduce our risk for colon cancer, could be one of those. So we actually should be taking a bit more fiber than the 25 grams. Now, why do we need fiber? Make us regular. Regular bowel. So yes, we don't digest fiber. And I talked about this when we talked about carbs. Fiber is one of the 3 siblings of carbohydrates that we cannot digest. But they do have a purpose, which is keep us regular. But the other purpose is, that's related with our last topic or point, is food for our gut bacteria. So they live on the fiber. And so we need that fiber to help gut and actually grow the right type of gut flora in our intestines. So they are food for the environment, the microbes that are living inside of us. And yeah, so that's what fiber does too. Fiber also is used a lot in diabetes and management of how quickly our sugars get absorbed and so on. But that fiber gives us satiety, makes us feel full. So it's another way. So where do we get fiber? I brought some samples here, and where do we get fiber? from?
Fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables, yeah, lots of people, that's the first thing you go. But actually, they're not the best. They're not the best. The best, and I'm gonna come here. Any idea what's the best source of fiber?
I heard someone say.
What? Legumes. What did you say? Grain. Yeah, grains. What type of grains? Whole grains. Whole grains. If we don't eat whole grains, we don't get the fiber because they take all the fiber out. Even the whole wheat is not fully a lot of fiber. If you compare, it's just 1 or 2 grams more. But the beans, the legumes are masters in amount of fiber for the amount that you eat. So half a cup, it gives you about 7 grams of fiber. That's a lot. One of the fruits that have the most fiber is apple or pear, but you have to eat it with the skin. That's 4 grams in 1 apple. That's not that much compared to what you can get with just half a cup of this. Kiwis.
Especially if you eat the skin.
I haven't eaten the skin.
My husband gets
The whole thing. Interesting. But yeah.
The kiwi though.
Yeah, maybe yes. The softer, yeah. Not the fuzzy one.
Even without the skin though, the kiwi is.
It does, yeah. And strawberries have, the seeds. So seeds and nuts is where also we get the fiber. Flaxseed also has lots of fiber in there. So the nuts and seeds. And I like the beans. The legumes are a powerhouse for fiber. Vegetables and fruit, yeah, but not, if you really need the fiber and to get to 25 grams, it's actually quite hard. So that's why I brought labels so you can read the amount of fiber you get. And you need a lot of thinking. Even rice, white rice compared to brown rice, there's not that much difference in terms of amount of fiber. So people, I'm eating brown rice. Well, you just maybe added 3 grams extra into your daily diet of fiber. So you really have to pay attention and look what sources of fiber. But with fiber, you need to have fluids. So always, they go together, hand in hand. Okay, enough of fiber. I don't think I wanted to say anything else. I'm just gonna look at my notes to make sure I'm not forgetting anything I wanted to say, because I get all excited and then I forget. And then that's it. What's
last shot?
Oh. My last. Oh, yes. No, about fiber. Anyway, so the last thing. So, fermented foods. So what are fermented foods?
Sweet potato, I know some vegetables have.
Yeah. Kimchi.
Sauerkraut.
So fermented. Yes. So maybe sweet potato.
Fermented, yeah.
Yeah, so
Wine.
maybe when it's
Like a
from
probiotic.
well, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So fermented is giving, so the way they're being left in this environment, and then the bacteria kind of grows, right? So kimchi is one, sauerkraut. The number one that's studied and everybody knows about is yogurt. And then we have kefir. There is soy, also fermented, like the paste, soy paste. Let me see. I think I put it here, so I don't know. There's a lot of different.
Not soy sauce?
Not soy sauce. No. Miso paste. That's what I was. Tempeh. So natto, miso, tempeh. Kimchi is a Korean veggie. So sour. Yeah. So and with sauerkraut, for example, it has to be refrigerated. So the sauerkraut we buy that is in the jar and it's in the aisle, that has nothing. It's already all gone. You're getting fiber, but you're not getting the fermented food. So it has to be live. So it has to be preserved in the fridge. So the sauerkraut has to be in the fridge to be the one that's going to give you that probiotic. And so, yeah, question? No?
I was just gonna say, like, what makes it
Fermented versus pickled, like if you're, because I've tried making my own.
Pickle can be fermented. Yeah. It's just different ways of making that bacteria grow, environment to grow. Pickle, it might be maybe to the extreme that is not, the bacteria dies, but I've seen pickles that are actually pickled, but they're fermented actually, but you have to keep them in the fridge. So very neat. Interesting. What's that?
If you have a can of citrus and you open it, you put it in the fridge, it's fine. But if you have a can of cabbage, like sauerkraut, you put it in the fridge and it's done.
No, I'm saying it has to be in the fridge.
Oh, okay, good.
Because so there's sauerkraut that you buy, I used to buy, that's in a glass container, and the aisle doesn't need to be, it's not refrigerated to begin with. Yes, you put it after because,
After you open
but that doesn't have all the bacteria you want. It's all dead, killed already. So you get fiber, but you're not getting the bacteria. So it has to be live, it has to be in the fridge.
I don't understand the life.
So we're eating
So if
bacteria.
I understand correctly, the canning process of whether you're canning it into a jar or canning it into a can kills the bacteria.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends on how it's being done. Yes.
Okay.
Because some canning process doesn't require being under temperature. So, yeah. So then that will kill it. Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
So why is it, if not all canning processes kill the bacteria, why is it that no canning or jarred sauerkraut or kimchi would work?
Because in order to be able to be stable on the shelf, they have to kill everything that's in there
That's
live.
what I just thought.
Yes, right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
why you have to get one that's
But if it's
already-
refrigerated,
That's
then
why
they're
you
not.
need one that's pre-refrigerated. and
Exactly.
buying it from the refrigerator
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I didn't get,
rather
yes.
than off the shelf.
Exactly.
in the
Yeah.
middle of the store.
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
What about kombucha?
Kombucha, that's another one, yes. It's, yeah. So, but this is the other thing with fermented food. If it comes sweetened, then you are already changing the environment into not so good bacteria. So the fermented food, why is it good for us? Because it populates our gut flora with good bacteria, or the bacteria that gives us benefits and pulls real estate or space away from bacteria we don't really want living in our gut. And so if we give it food like fiber, then we'll kind of cultivate the good stuff. This is when you get antibiotics and you kind of kill everything, and then you start with yogurt. But you should be with yogurt that has no sugar, because once sugar is in the environment, then you're starting to grow different types of bacteria that you don't really want. And this is one of the things of fermented food. So fermented food is helping us, our gut, because this bacteria also produces byproducts, which is gas, which is a good thing, and also fatty acids that we reabsorb, and that's also antioxidants as well that helps us in our body. But there's a lot of new research, but not done yet, very in an infancy, about the fermented food has to do with mental health, anxiety, and depression. This is still not proven. It's still a long haul to know exactly what's happening, but kind of the theories are that there's a lot of receptors that regulate, they're very similar to receptors we have in our brain that regulate our emotions, and our hormones. So this is still new. So stay tuned. I mean, you can hear, oh yeah, they should be doing this or that, but it's not yet proven. And the only one that's really extensively researched is yogurt. Kefir is the next one that is in research. There's a lot of focus on that one, but they're not yet there with the kimchi and the sauerkraut. It's like a more theory-based. And in terms of mental health, we're still a long way to know really, for sure, the correlation or the there's any relationship. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I read Fiber Fueled, or I read I don't know if you know the book, Fiber Fueled, and that's all about what
Yes.
balance here. And so it introduced fermentation, and I tried doing my own recipes and some things, but I honestly didn't know that yogurt.
Yeah.
did that. So if you're having yogurt.
Plain
you
yogurt,
don't need to
you're
layer on
getting.
anything else.
You're getting, there's so many different types of microbes. So, but yogurt has bifidobacteria and what's the other one? I can't even remember. So there's a lot of different types of microbes that are healthy for us. But yogurt, yeah. So just have regular yogurt plain, and you'll get the probiotics.
And then no need to layer on other
No.
fermented food.
You can, yeah. So the interesting thing about the gut are we have to continuously do it forever if we want to. It's not a one-time thing. I have a pill or yogurt for a week and then that's it. It's going to be forever like that. You have to consistently keep it that way and eating those foods that will keep making your gut that type of gut. Yeah, and it's defined how we were born. This is things that we're learning now. Our gut is defined right from how we were born or came into this world. Is it through vaginal delivery or is it through C-section? What is the kind of bacteria our moms had in their pelvis that passed on to us because we are sterile when we come to this world and then we get completely populated. And then if we were breastfed or we used formula, so all these different things. And then our body can always wants to go to that certain kind of type of bacteria that we have. So everybody's different. Yeah. So you have to constantly keep it up if you want to have those fermented food. And kombucha, you can make it your own. My husband is doing it. It's really cool. But I'm like, okay. And they sell the cans, but once they start putting sugar and stuff like that, you really are not helping. Like it's changing the type of flora you have in that. Yeah.
Yeah, the brands, the General Remedy is one good one, and then Rise, they have a couple of flavors and it's like 2 grams
Yeah.
in it, but most of them it's like 15 and
Yeah, some of them
14.
I know. So that's just the thing we don't know, right? But it should be, and this is why we get processed foods that are high in sugar or high in these different types of simple sugars that are feeding what? A certain type of flora that really we don't want. And we don't know really the effects. Anyways, I don't want to take too much time because we want to get to Jenny and Terry. So any other questions? Yeah,
I was
Lisa?
wondering about hummus and how good that is, like fiber-wise.
Yes, hummus, yes, lots of fiber. The chickpeas, especially if you keep the shell, that clear shell that kind of comes off, put it back in, and that's where the fiber is. Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's gone through the process.
No, you get the fiber there. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Good.
But I think some of the store-bought ones or the company-made ones, they usually remove it because it helps to create a premium texture.
Yes, so read the label. So if it's lower, it should be at least 4 grams of fiber per half a cup of that. So if it's less, then definitely you're getting less, right? That's why the processing our food is reducing the fiber of our foods. So you want to get us closer to kind of how the food was in the first place, or kind of maybe boil the chickpeas yourself, or even from a can. Canned chickpeas are fine and perfectly fine, and you get all the fiber there.
Okay, yeah, I make it weekly. So 2 cans of chickpeas, lemon juice,
You make it?
tahini,
And
a little
olive
bit of
oil.
honey too.
Oh, honey.
Garlic.
Interesting. There you go.
Oh, that-
Chives, basil.
Yes, you make your own
At
flavor.
least you
Yeah.
know what's in it.
Yes,
Smoked
totally.
paprika, whatever you want.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Salt.
Perfect. Yes,
I know.
iodized salt. There we go. For another time. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you. We're going to leave it to Terry.